That's so sweet.
Oh my.
Stop crying, smile.
Pooh Shiesty just came home from a whole federal bid, and the first thing this man did was cop his mama a $1.1 million crib, no cap, while still on the ankle monitor, still on home confinement. And the footage of Mama Shiesty breaking down in tears, it broke the entire internet. Pooh Shiesty cops a $1.1 million crib for Mama Shiesty. 8. Look, before we do anything else, before we talk about the come up, the fed time, the struggle, the bars, any of that, we gotta address the elephant in the room, the clip that broke the whole internet, the moment that had every hood, every blog, every comment section on every platform going absolutely crazy. Because Pooh Shiesty, the same dude who was just sitting in a federal cell counting down the days on a wall not that long ago, just went and surprised his mama, Gladys Baines, with a brand new $1.1 million home, a whole $1 million crib for his OG, straight up. So let me lay down exactly how this whole play went down, step by step, because the way this man orchestrated this whole surprise was chef's kiss levels of execution. He didn't just cop the crib and toss her the keys over breakfast. Nah, this was a carefully planned, precision-level operation. He linked up with luxury real estate agent Missy Perrin, who specializes in high-end properties, and the two of them locked in behind the scenes to make everything airtight. Missy even posted about it on her socials afterward, shouting out Shiesty for putting his trust in her to handle the whole process. That right there tells you the level of professionalism behind this bag. This wasn't some spur-of-the-moment impulse buy. This was calculated. This was strategic. This was that real boss move energy.
It smells.
The videos were posted on Pooh Shiesty's Instagram story on February 3rd, 2026, and within hours, every major hip-hop blog and outlet was running the story. XXL had it, National Today had it, Ace Showbiz had it. It was all over TikTok, all over X, all over everything. And what those clips captured was the kind of raw, uncut emotion you cannot fake. You cannot manufacture that type of energy, no matter how much bread you throw at a camera crew.
That's so sweet.
Oh my.
Stop crying, smile.
Gladys Baines, dressed in a vibrant pink fit, walks through the front door of this brand new house and immediately steps into the kitchen area. And the second she takes it all in, the setup, the balloons, the whole vibe, she covers her face and just breaks down. We're talking waterworks. Fam, full-on, happy tears running down her face type of crying. The kind of cry that only a mother who's been through absolute hell and back with her child can produce. That's decades of struggle, sacrifice, and sleepless nights all hitting her at once. That's a mama realizing her baby boy really made it, not just in the music game, but as a man. Now let's chop it up about the actual pad, because the Shiesty family been low-key about the full details. And honestly, we gotta respect the move. This ain't no MTV Cribs episode. This is a personal gift for somebody's mama, and they got every right to keep certain things between them and God. But from the clips that went viral, we can piece together a pretty solid picture of what this joint looks like. And trust me when I tell you, what we've seen so far is bussin'. As for the full specs, the estimates based on comparable properties in the area put the crib at roughly 3,000 to 4,000 square feet, potentially rocking 4 to 5 bedrooms, ensuite bathrooms, and modern appliances throughout. Social media have been speculating about a home gym, outdoor entertainment spaces, and a multi-car garage, but ain't none of that confirmed yet. What is confirmed is that this crib is a massive upgrade from where Mama Shiesty been. And when you think about where this family started, the Cane Creek apartments, the struggle, the block, the trap, all of it, $1 million property with a manicured lawn and infinity lighting in the kitchen feels like a whole different universe. That's the glow up in its purest form. That's generational progress right there, captured in 4 walls and a roof. And let me also put some respect on the financial intelligence behind this move, because a lot of people don't realize what it takes to pull something like this off while you're still technically under federal supervision. Shiesty is currently on home confinement. That ankle monitor is still active, but he navigated the process clean, linked with a professional luxury realtor, handled the transaction proper, and delivered the goods to his mama without a single hiccup. That's not reckless spending, that's calculated bag deployment. That's a man who understands that the first thing you do when you touch some real bread is secure the foundation for your bloodline. You buy your mama a house, period. That's the code, and real ones already know. This ain't even the first time Pooh Shiesty blessed his mama with a new spot. Back in 2021, right after the devastating gut-wrenching loss of his brother Terrence Henderson, who everybody knew as T.P., to brain cancer at just 27 years old, Pooh gifted Gladys a home as a gesture of solace and love, posting the emotional video on IG with the caption, "ET Day P I did it," and a Gladys Baines Love You 5L. That was the first crib. This $1.1 million property right here, this is the level up. This is the glow up. This is a son telling his mama straight up, everything we've been through, the pain, the separation, the fed time, all of it, it was worth it. Because look where we at now, ma. But now the question becomes, how did we even get here? How did a kid from the most dangerous corners of Memphis, Tennessee go from selling dreams on SoundCloud to selling platinum records and buying million-dollar cribs? And how did he survive years in the federal system without losing himself in the process? That's where the real story starts. And trust me, it's a movie. Let's run it back. From Cane Creek to the feds, Pooh Shiesty, born Lontrell Donnell Williams Jr. on November 8, 1999, didn't grow up with a silver spoon or a trust fund or any type of safety net. This dude came straight out of the Cane Creek apartments on the south side of Memphis, Tennessee. And anybody who's ever set foot on that side of the M knows exactly what type of environment that is. We're talking about the kind of block where you learn to watch your back before you learn your ABCs. The kind of spot where the streets raise you whether your mama wants them to or not. Memphis is a city that's legendary for its music, for its culture, for its food, but it's also notorious for having one of the highest crime rates in the country, and South Memphis sits right in the thick of all that smoke. His pops, Lontrell Williams Sr., better known in the streets and in the game as Mob Boss, was a local rapper who had started his own independent label called Mob Ties Records. But this wasn't some kid-friendly after-school music program type of situation. Reports detail that Mob Boss was heavily involved in street activity, running trap houses and catching serious cases, including a 2004 raid where the feds seized drugs, weapons, and cash from the family home. Pooh was only 4 years old when that went down. 4. So from jump, this kid was getting an education in survival that no school could ever teach. The trap was the classroom, and the streets were the textbook. And then there's the OG of all OGs, Gladys Baines, Mama Shiesty herself, the same woman who just got blessed with that $1 million crib. She's been holding it down since day one. She's been described across multiple sources as a certified gangster who held the family and the whole operation together during her husband's incarcerations. And when I say certified gangster, I don't mean she was out there wilding. I mean, this woman had that street IQ, that survival instinct, that ability to keep the family fed, the lights on, and her kids safe when the man of the house was locked up. She taught Pooh loyalty, resilience, and how to navigate chaos, lessons that would literally save his life later on. She even moved with Pooh down to Pflugerville, Texas, for about 2 years during his teens, trying to pull him out the danger zone and give him a fresh start. But Memphis kept calling. They eventually came back, and Pooh knocked out high school through summer programs, still dreaming about making it out through music. Shiesty started taking rap seriously around 18, and even in them early days, you could tell his flow was hitting way different from everybody else in the city. This wasn't your average dude hopping in the booth for clout and hoping something stuck. Nah, this was a youngin' who had real pain, real experiences, and real stories to tell, and every bar he spit carried the weight of everything he'd lived through on those Memphis streets. Early tracks like Breaking News in 2018 and Hell Night featuring Big 30 in 2019 started popping up on SoundCloud and YouTube, catching ears not just in Memphis, but across the whole South and beyond. The rawness was undeniable. The authenticity was unmatched. You could hear the streets in every single bar. Not because he was performing it or cosplaying like some of these dudes out here do, but because he was genuinely living it. Every word, every ad-lib, every inflection in his voice came from a real place, and the people who knew they could feel it. His musical influences ran deep too. Growing up, he was bumping Lil Wayne, Chief Keef, Kodak Black, and of course, Gucci Mane, with Lil Wayne being cited as the biggest influence on his style. You can hear all of that in his delivery. The wordplay from Wayne, the rawness from Keef, the street energy from Kodak, and the trap sensibility from Gucci. He took all those ingredients and cooked up something that was uniquely him. Before the label deal even came, he had already co-founded Choppa Gang, a collective that blended gang elements with business savvy. It started off in the streets, but eventually the whole focus shifted to the music, and that pivot changed everything. The game changer came through in April 2020 when Pooh Shiesty officially signed with Gucci Mane's 1017 Records under Atlantic Records, and that's when the entire operation leveled up to a whole different tier. Gucci Mane didn't just see another hungry rapper from the South, he saw a reflection of himself. He saw that same hunger, that same grind, that same refusal to fold under pressure, and he put the full weight of the 1017 machine behind Shiesty without hesitation. Collabs started stacking up like bricks in the trap. Tracks like Main Slime, features on the So Icy Summer compilation, gold certified, and connections with the entire 1017 roster. It all started putting Shiesty's name in rooms and on playlists where it had never been before. He went from local heat to nationwide flame in a matter of months, and the momentum was only building. Then November 6th, 2020 happened. Back in Blood, featuring Lil Durk, dropped, and the entire rap game went into a frenzy. That track didn't just go viral, it went 8x platinum, racking up over 400 million YouTube views and peaking at number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100. 8 times platinum, from the same kid who was ducking bullets in Cane Creek not too long before that. The hood anthem of the decade had arrived, and it had Pooh Shiesty's name all over it. In his own words from the XXL interview, he reflected on what that record meant to him.
Feeling good, man. I'm feeling like, a lot of mixed feelings. Happy, same time, like excited, It's a couple different mixed feelings. Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of pressure, but same time, like, it's a lot of like anticipation for real,
February 2021 brought even more smoke. His debut mixtape, Shiesty Season, debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 and went 2x platinum. Singles like Neighbors, featuring Big 30, 2x platinum, and Guard Up kept the wave going crazy. Deluxe editions loaded with features from Lil Baby, Gunna, and Jack Harlow followed. He landed the 2021 XXL freshman class and caught a BET Hip Hop Awards nod. At 21 years old, Pooh Shiesty was running the game. Memphis had crowned its new king. The whole industry was watching. But y'all already know how this story goes in the rap game. Been seeing it play out for decades. The same streets that build you up are the exact same streets that'll drag you back down if you slip for even 1 second. And for Pooh Shiesty, the fall came fast, it came hard, and it came at the worst possible time. Right when the world was at his feet, the streets pulled him back in. On October 13th, 2020, literally weeks before Back in Blood would explode and change his entire life trajectory, Shiesty caught a case in Bay Harbor Islands, Florida, for armed robbery, aggravated assault, battery, and criminal theft tied to a shooting over a sneaker deal that went all the way left. 2 people got hit in the incident, and just like that, a dark cloud formed over what was supposed to be the biggest victory lap in Memphis rap history. The timing was devastating. Imagine your biggest song is about to drop, the whole industry is about to know your name, and instead of celebrating in the studio, you sitting in a holding cell, trying to figure out how everything went wrong so fast. Then in June 2021, another arrest, this time connected to a shooting at a Miami strip club, where he was held without bond, even though the victim recanted their whole statement. The feds came down heavy. By January 2022, Pooh Shiesty pleaded guilty to firearms conspiracy in furtherance of violent and drug trafficking crimes, dodging what could have been a life sentence. In April 2022, the judge hit him with 63 months, 5 years and 3 months in federal prison, and he was shipped off to USP Canaan. Court documents from this period showed his net worth at $3,449,446. That's royalties, advances, assets, everything he had stacked up during that insane run. On top of that, a $1 million restitution order came through in 2023 for the victim's medical bills. So not only was he losing his freedom, he was losing a chunk of his bread too. The hottest rapper alive was gone. The charts lost him. The features dried up. The sold-out shows turned into cell block headcounts. The Gucci links, the platinum plaques, the XXL freshman cover. All of it felt like a lifetime ago, while he was staring at them gray walls day after day. And the worst part? The losses didn't stop at the prison gate. While Shiesty was locked up, his brother Terrence Henderson passed away from brain cancer at just 27 years old. His cousin Big Scar, who was also a rising rapper in the 1017 camp, died while Shiesty was still behind the wall. He couldn't attend either funeral. He couldn't say goodbye. He couldn't be there for his family when they needed him the most. That type of pain, it don't heal easy, and it don't go away just because you come home. So the question on everybody's mind, from the blogs to the barbershops to the comment sections, was the same. Would Pooh Shiesty survive this? Would the system break him the way it's broken so many before him? Would he come out the same person, or would the fire behind those eyes be gone? The answer, as we now know, is that not only did this man survive, he came out the other side sharper, smarter, hungrier, and more locked in than he's ever been. And that complete transformation is exactly what we're breaking down next. How the feds couldn't break, Pooh Shiesty, and what comes next. So, look, when we left off, Shiesty was behind the wall at USP Canaan, facing over 5 years of federal time. That's a long stretch for anybody, but especially for a 21-year-old kid who had the entire rap game in the palm of his hand just months earlier. Most dudes go in there and either lose their mind, lose their edge, or lose themselves completely. The system is designed to break you. That's not an opinion, that's facts. But Pooh Shiesty, he flipped the whole script. He turned that cell into a classroom, and that bit into a boot camp. In his XXL interview after coming home, he kept it all the way 100 about what that experience was like. The mixed emotions, the pressure, the anticipation of a comeback that nobody was guaranteed.
You got disbelievers and you got strong believers, you know? Like, they been counting on me. They already knew, like, when people doubted, they knew, like, this little dude for real, like, he who he is, so I'ma produce every time. I can't fumble it. I can't fumble. Couple dudes like that was like, you know, help me with my whole like start and how I think and how I look at the music game. So like I mentioned Dirk in there, I mentioned Gotti in there, mentioned a couple dudes in there.
Real talk, mixed feelings, because coming home from the feds ain't like finishing a vacation. It's heavy. You're excited to be free, but at the same time, you're processing years of trauma, separation, and uncertainty. And Shiesty was honest enough to put that on the table. But what he did behind those walls is where the real story is. He picked up habits that he admitted he'd never had before in his life.
A lot of good habits I picked up in there. Yeah, some I gotta tighten up some more, but you know, for sure, like, working out, there's one. Never worked out before, never. But working out, there's one. Reading, I wasn't just too much of a fan of picking up books, but I read all day long, but reading, I got my reading game up in there.
He went in there never touching a weight and never cracking open a book, and came out built different, physically and mentally. That ain't just growth, that's a whole evolution. He also talked about developing his decision-making, learning to control his temper, and leveling up his communication skills.
Knowing how to like choose between rational and irrational decisions, you know? Just decision-making and thinking before I act, working on my temper. It's a lot of knowing how to communicate. I learned how to communicate better. It's a lot of good things, you know. If you can see the good in situations, there's always some good.
That's a whole different Shiesty talking. That's not the same 21-year-old who caught them cases in Florida. That's a grown man who sat with his mistakes, owned them, and came out with a blueprint for doing things different. And he even gave game to the younger generation, keeping it raw about the streets.
A couple words of wisdom from somebody that been in it, you know what I'm saying, and know it firsthand. That ain't what's up in there, bro. All the image and the facades and the faking and the street notoriety, this is not worth it. Ain't nothing worth leaving this and going in there. And ain't nothing worth not leaving that in there, coming back out here, you know what I'm saying? So let's stay focused, man, get this money and keep working and take care of this opportunity that we got to provide for all our people.
Now, one of the most important pieces of this whole puzzle is the woman who never, and I mean never, left his corner. While Shiesty was locked down at USP Canaan, his mama Gladys was out here making sure the world didn't forget about her son. She visited him in jail for his birthday in 2021, went live on his Instagram account to keep his fan connection alive, and when his release date started getting close, she rented out a Sprinter van to bring him home in style. That's a ride or die mama right there. That's the kind of loyalty you can't buy with any amount of money, and it's exactly why she deserved that $1 million crib. On October 6, 2025, Pooh Shiesty walked out of federal prison early, thanks to good behavior, transitioning into home confinement, and he wasted zero time getting back to the bag. On December 12, 2025, he dropped FDO, First Day Out, and the streets ate it up. The track debuted at number 22 and peaked at number 12 on the Hot 100, his highest solo chart position ever. 3 million views in a single day. The message was loud and clear. Shiesty season ain't over. It's just getting started again. So where does the story go from here? With his net worth sitting at an estimated $3.4 to $3.5 million, FDO already charting higher than any solo record he's ever dropped, his home confinement ending April 11th, 2026, and the entire Memphis rap scene riding with him. Pooh Shiesty ain't just back, he's loaded, recharged, and he's got plans that go way beyond just music. From the Cane Creek apartments to the feds, from the feds to the Billboard charts, from the charts to $1 million crib for his mama, from the ankle monitor to the CEO chair. Pooh Shiesty is living proof that where you start don't determine where you finish. As long as you refuse to fold, refuse to fumble, and refuse to forget the people who held you down when the world counted you out. That $1.1 million house sitting in Memphis right now, that ain't just 4 walls and a roof. That's everything. That's the struggle. That's the sacrifice. That's the tears Gladys Baines shed when her son was behind the wall. That's every prayer she whispered. That's every letter the fans sent. That's every bar he wrote on napkins and envelopes in a federal cell. That house is the receipt for every single ounce of pain this family endured, and it's proof that it was all worth it. If this video moved you, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment telling us, when you make it, what's the first thing you doing for your mama? Because at the end of the day, this ain't about the clout. This ain't about the chains, or the whips, or the followers. This is about taking care of the ones who took care of you when you ain't have nothing. That's the real flex. That's the real bag. That's the Pooh Shiesty way.